Palestinian, father of 5, born and raised in the Gaza Strip. I'm also the editor of a book called Gaza Writes Back, which is a collection of short stories written in English by young Palestinians from Gaza who reacted in creative writing in fiction to the Israeli brutality and aggression of 2008 and 2009. In April 2014, we toured the United States to talk about Gaza Writes Back. And every time we spoke, every time we met people, we always have been asked this question once and again: how we Palestinians cope with the injustices, with the death and destruction. How do we keep going on in life? How do we still be there, live there in Palestine despite Israeli occupation and racism? The answer was that we have no choice but to live, to resist, to stand up for brutality, and to be part of the struggle for justice. Throughout the 66 years of Israeli colonial occupation, we have developed a talent for life, to find hope in the darkest of nights, because we quite well have come to understand that our struggle as Palestinians, our struggle for justice in Palestine, is part of the universal struggle against injustice everywhere in the world. Saying no to an imperialist, colonial, medieval occupation that imposes siege on millions of Palestinians has become a courageous act, something that we have to do. At the same time, superpowers are blindly protecting Israel and giving it financial, military, and political aid. As Palestinians, we have to come to realize that staying in Palestine is an act of resistance. Staying in Palestine is an act of life. And that with the huge support from the free people around the world, from the pro-Palestinians, and with the wonderful work of boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, BDS, and Jewish Voice for Peace, JVP, and other amazing lobbies in the United States and the United Kingdom, in Europe, in Africa, and Asia. For a moment, as Palestinians, we felt so close to putting an end to this 21st century colonial occupation. We felt that Israel is being isolated, its powers are being eroded, and more people are united against Israeli injustices by standing in the morally right side of history. However, after this war in Gaza, the so-called protective edge, this hope we have had, this hope seemed to be diminishing. Many Palestinians are more determined to resist and to continue the fight, but at the same time, the impunity with which Israel kills, destroys, and brags about that made us feel alone and vulnerable. When Israel kills 2,000 people in just 12 or 13,000 people, and destroys 15,000 housing units, and destroys hundreds of schools and mosques and dozens of hospitals and universities in less than a month, and still get support from the United States, what do you expect from us? To throw roses at the Israeli tanks invading Gaza and destroying whole neighborhoods like Shuja'iyya and Khuza'a? The devastation failed to break our will to continue the struggle. On the contrary, Israeli attacks made us more powerful and more determined to fight Israeli terrorism by any means effective. Israeli attacks have pushed many of us to the point where we have nothing to lose. However, many of us have started to lose hope in the international community and even in the popular support around the world, despite the fact that we can see that more and more people are supporting Palestine. We have lost hope in the international community bringing about an end to the Israeli occupation and bringing about change and forcing Israel to end its apartheid and to allow all people, regardless of race or color or religion, to enjoy equal rights. So as Palestinians, we feel that activists all over the world and the free people have to exert yet more effort in the streets, in the churches, at schools, at university campuses, everywhere, to boycott Israel, to isolate Israel, to oblige Israel to stop its brutality, to stop its racism and apartheid against non-Jewish people in Palestine, and to oblige their governments to stop sending tax money and to stop sending weapons to Israel, which Israel uses to kill Palestinians. As Palestinians, we feel that if this time Israeli leaders and murderers are not brought to justice, we're going to feel betrayed, because every time we have been promised that those people will be brought to justice, those criminals will be brought to justice. What do you expect from Palestinians to do if those Israeli murderers just are not brought to justice? Just wait for another war? Just wait a couple of years to be killed and for our houses to be destroyed yet again? To live a life of a slow death under a medieval, brutal siege imposed on Palestinians? I say if we are all serious, we should work day and night, heart, body and soul, to overthrow the Israeli tyranny, brutality and racism. So stopping Israeli occupation, putting an end to Israeli brutality, will help us stop racism and discrimination everywhere in the world, in the United States, in Europe, in the UK, in Africa, in Asia. Because Israel is now the facade of terror and racism, and abolishing that will definitely make the world a lot safer and more peaceful. As a Palestinian, I'm an average Palestinian person born and raised in Gaza. If I count the times I was exposed to Israeli brutality and humiliation, I need to speak for weeks and weeks. But in the past month, Israel killed my brother, who's a father of two, destroyed my family house of 4 floors, 6 flats, where 31 people live. Israel killed 5 of my relatives and destroyed 27 houses of my relatives. Israel killed 8 of my in-laws and destroyed dozens of their houses. Israel bombed the university where I work. Israel bombed the schools where my kids go to learn. Israel destroyed the hospitals and the clinics where we seek medical treatment. Israel killed scores of people I know and destroyed hundreds of houses for people I know, and thousands of houses for people I don't know, also, who all matter to us.
Now, as Palestinians all over the world, we have to act, and we expect the free people of the world to act to pressure their governments to cut ties with Israel, to stop sending money and weapons to Israel. We have to work to find more diverse and more creative ways to empower medias in order to isolate Israel and to erode its abilities to massacre and kill people. Israel will not wake up, realize they are horrible, and then decide to end the occupation. No occupation has ever done that. We have to make Israel end its occupation. We need to act. We have to act. And we have to act now before more and more people are massacred by Israel. Thank you very much.